Hey y'all, happy 2025. I am back finally. As you can tell by my voice, I am under the weather. I have been under the weather with this cold since January the 2nd. I am just not getting over it. I have been on this couch behind me, binge watching crap, and I wanted to come in to talk about this. It's a limited series on Netflix. It's by Harlan Coben, Missing You. And if you've watched any of his series on Netflix, you know that he knows how to write a freaking show. He knows how to unveil a mystery. He knows how to bury the reveal. He knows how to keep it entertaining to the point where you don't know what's going to happen. And I'm the type of person, when I watch a show, I like to try to figure out what's about to happen. And I'm normally pretty good at it, but I'm never good at it with his shows. And he got about 4 or 5 of them on Netflix. If you haven't watched them, go watch them. If you have not watched this one, I suggest you to go watch it first before you watch me, because I'm going to give you some freaking spoilers because this show is so good. I'm going to give you spoilers. All right, so let's talk about Missing You. So with Harlan, what I've learned in watching his shows is that the people closest to the main character, not all of them, somebody close to the main character is involved in some kind of way. They know what happened. They know what's going on. They are involved. So when the first episode popped off, I was looking at all of this main character's friends, her mother, her boss, her co-workers. I'm looking at everybody with the side eye because I know one of them, if not more, knows exactly what's going on, right? So the main character is a detective. She basically investigate missing people, solve those type of crimes. And so she was ghosted 11 years ago by her fiancé, hence the name of the series, Missing You. So this man ghosted her 11 years ago without any closure, without any warning, during the most vulnerable time of her life, which was the loss of her father. Her dad was also a police, right? So when I tell you there was multiple plots, there were about 5 plots going on, and I'm going to run them down for you one by one. The first plot was the fact that her fiance ghosted her for no apparent reason at the worst point in time in her life, right? That's the main plot. Second plot, there is this ring that is abducting people and making them drain their money, basically transfer all of their funds from their account to this ring's account, and they are actually unaliving these people once they get all of their money. That's plot number 2. Number 3, there's this boy that reaches out to the main character, and God forbid, I can't remember her name. I can't remember anybody's name. I am loopy on this cold medicine, but I can't remember her name. But there's this boy that reached out to her for her help in finding his mother, because he believes his mother is dating her ex-fiance because he saw her ex-fiance on a dating app. Fourth, what's the fourth? Her dad. He's unalived. They have a man in custody, but she wants answers. Why did he do it? It's believed that this man that did it was hired by this crime boss. So she wants to know, why did this crime boss want her daddy gone? And then the 5th plot that I had no idea was even happening right in front of my eyes. The dad had a secret. The dad had not a secret, secrets, right? The dad had secrets, big secret that really just wrapped this whole thing up that you don't even see coming. You think the show is about her ex-fiance ghosting her, but it's really all about the freaking dad, and you don't even realize this until the last episode. Like halfway into the last episode, that this series is really about the daddy and not the fiance. So now I'm trying to figure out, which do I want to unveil first in all of these plots. Okay, let's talk about this ring. So this ring is abducting people, and they are luring them in by catfishing them on a dating app. So the picture of her ex-fiance is not his profile. These people stole his picture off Facebook and created a profile, and they got this boy's mama. She thought she was talking to that man, but it wasn't that man. It was them. Long story short, they abducted her. They are making her drain her accounts. They pretty much got all her money towards the end of this episode, and they're about to take her out. They're about to unalive her because they can't get no more money out of her, right? So that's the one plot. All right. Another plot. She wants closure because her fiance ghosted her. She saw him on this dating app. She's trying to figure out what the hell is he doing on this dating app. He could at least tell me why he left me. Let me hit him up. Let me match with him. But they end up muting her. She didn't understand it at that time. She really thought it was him, but it wasn't him. Okay, so that's the easy plot to talk about. The third plot, which really gets into the nitty gritty of this show, is the guy that unalived her father that's currently in prison. He's on his deathbed. Come to find out, he didn't do it. He just took the fall. He was a hitman. They had already got him on two people. He's like, okay, fine, I'll eat this third person if y'all give me, whatever they agreed to give him. And he just pled guilty, and he, said he did it, but he did not do it. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, where we now get into the father and what's his involvement in this whole series. Well, this man that's in prison on his deathbed, guess who he took the fall for? Guess who actually unalived her daddy? Her fiancé. Her fiancé did it. But what's really going to blow your mind is the why he did it. And the why has to do with her daddy's secret life. Now, she knew her dad. She found out her dad had a mistress. So she's trying to get all these answers. She got so much going on, Lord. Her fiance done left her daddy out of here. She finding out, her daddy wasn't necessarily the greatest man ever. She's finding out all these things about him. Well, one of her mom's friends told her that her daddy had a mistress. So she tracked this mistress down because she's thinking, okay, maybe this mistress can give me insight as to why my father was taken out. So she goes to the mistress' house. A man answers the door. Her dad was gay. He had been with this man for 14 years. But the cat was out of bag, which is why he ended up being a dirty cop for this mob boss, because the mob boss found out and was blackmailing him. So the dad did not want this getting out. So he was working for this mob boss, feeding him information, keeping him out of jail. Yeah, the mob boss knew, but the dad had a boyfriend. So when he opened that door, he was like, I'm so glad to see you. I've been waiting to meet you, blah, blah, blah. Talk about how much in love they were and this and that. But the most interesting thing that happened in that whole scene with her meeting her dad's boyfriend was when the boyfriend was talking about, how they were in love. And she made the statement of, oh, so you all just act like me and my mama didn't exist. And he was like, well, your dad act like y'all didn't exist when he was over here with me. And so I was like, oh, damn. That's deep. That's deep. But when he said that made her realize, you can't be mad at him. You need to be mad at your daddy. The daddy did not want this getting out. So one day, he was out with the boyfriend. I think they were trying to break up. They were having a little argument in the alley, and one of her friends walked up and saw them. Just so happened to be the transgender friend. So, of course, when she saw them, she freaked out and she ran home. Well, the daddy went behind her. And he's, berating her, threatening her, don't tell my daughter, don't tell my daughter. And while he's saying, don't tell my daughter, don't tell my daughter, the daughter calls the friend. And that's when he loses it. Like, what? You've already called her. You've already told her, he's about to rough this girl up. And that's when the ex-fiance comes in and saves the transgender friend from the daddy. He accidentally stabs him and the man passes away. Well, That's when the chief of police, who was her dad's friend at the time and who is also currently her boss, got involved to cover it all up because he's trying to protect the legacy of her daddy, trying to protect her from her daddy's secrets, blase, 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 right? So that's how we get here where, you know, now all of her answers are there. Her fiance left her because he couldn't live with the fact that he unalived her daddy. And her daddy was not unalived by this mob boss. He was actually unalived by the fiance. Insane. But the ending was very strange to me because, once she's doing all this investigating into the death of her father, she has, people investigating the weapon. And there was a fingerprint on the weapon that they could not identify. Well, at the end of the episode, they were able to identify it as being her ex-fiance. And the show ends with them, him telling her what happened. So she is digesting that all along, dealing with the fact that, okay, what are we going to do? Well, where do we go from here? But then you see a slight sign that maybe they're going to stay together because they kind of touch hands, or they, reach out to hold hands, and the show goes off. And it is so freaking good. But it goes off and I'm thinking, okay, now that they know his fingerprint was on the murder weapon, is he going to go to jail now? They've already convicted a man. Is he going to go to jail? Are they going to stay together? And that's how Harlan shows have you thinking and feeling. You have so many, first of all, you're coming off this high of learning all the ins and outs of what was going on. But then you wonder where are they going to go from here? Where are they going to go from here? I don't know. It was a good show. Good show. But yeah, back to the ring of people that were abducting and stealing folks' money. She ended up taking them out, rescuing the boy's mom. But the main, most interesting part of this series was the daddy secret and the fact that the fiance was involved. And I was right all along. I knew somebody close to her was involved. It was the chief of police, her boss, as well as one of her best friends involved. That's all I have for today. I'm going to go back and get me some more Theraflu. Hopefully by tomorrow, I'll be at 100%. I think right now, maybe at 90%. But yeah, I just want to stop in and talk about this show. Thank you for watching. I will see you on the next one. Bye.